So the thing I would say is, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it, that's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
Have you made a lot of money out of your music?
Money? I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Possession make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
I always made a living so I could make movies. I never made movies to try and make a living. And I think that's a big mistake that a lot of newcomers do, is that they focus on how can my passion pay me? And I think that's a terrible place to start. If the reason why you're doing anything creative is to make a living, then you're doing it wrong. You get into it because it's a true passion, it's something you really believe in, or don't get into it at all.
There's no such thing as unrealistic ambitions. Gandhi beat the British Empire. Obama was elected. Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. Here's the key. Just do it. If you have dreams, you're off to a good start. There is one infallible way to live your dreams. It's a sure thing, guaranteed. All you have to do is commit. Commit everything you are and everything you ever will be to realizing your dreams. Do that, and there are only two possible outcomes. You'll succeed, or you'll die trying. Either way, you lived your dreams. Most people throw in the towel somewhere between 22 to 28. Kids, jobs, car payments, marriage, all reasons that people like to give for letting go. Don't do that. Embrace those realities.
Hey, I don't care who you are, what race, what age, what gender. I don't care about any of that stuff. But what I do know is that you have a dream inside of you. And that dream you have kept hidden from the world. You've made excuses for it. You've delayed it. You've listened to people telling you to be realistic. But deep down in your heart, you know that you're not living to your potential. And life is now something you're just getting on with. I want to lay some reality on you real quick. Where is the wealthiest place in the world? Do you know? It's not China. It's not Dubai. It's the graveyard. Because in the graveyard, you will find inventions never invented, businesses never erected, songs never sung, books never written, ideas never nurtured, people never realized, because they were scared to take a risk. Scared like you. But you want to know something else? You're not in the graveyard yet. And we get one life, right? And every passing moment, we will never get back again. You will never start this video with the same perspective you had when you click play. You will never brush your teeth the same way twice in your life. There ain't no rewind button on life. I will never get that breath back ever again. See, this present moment is so precious. We have to be here. We have to be in it and make the most of it. We have to live our dreams now because they are possible. 6,000 years ago, man created the wheel. Only 6,000 years ago. First written language was created. That's it. And if I may remind you, the airplane is only a little over 100 years old. There was no internet 50 years ago. No cell phone. So don't sit here and tell me that everything that can be done has been done when we haven't been here for very long. There are dreams, there are ideas and accomplishments that are waiting to be discovered, that are waiting for you. Helen Keller was once asked, what on earth will be worse than being born blind? She said, it will be so much worse to be born with sight, but no vision. Why can't we have cures for every disease known to man? Why can't we have clean water, food, education for every person on this planet? Why can't we have peace on this planet? Why do we have to die to go to heaven? The earth is already in space. We can have heaven right here, right now. Just a shift in this. Why not? Because somebody said it's impossible, it can't be done. I'll tell you this, there's never been a statue erected for a critic. Everybody tell you how to do it, they never did it. Moral of the story is, do you, be you, and be here now. Your dreams are possible. Stop obsessing over these celebrities, Kim Kardashian. Live your life. Step into your greatness. They say the average person dies at 25, but is buried at 75. You know what that means? Unless you figure it out. Don't let this negative world get to you. Don't let it win. Do not go where the path may lead, but go where there is no path and leave a trail.
Life shrinks and expands in direct proportion to one's willingness to take on risk. And I think when it comes to exploring, the act of exploration is the act of assuming risk. The greater risk taker is the greater explorer. I want to talk about risk. As a guiding principle, life shrinks and life expands in direct proportion to your willingness to assume risk. Yeah, I've made some really stupid decisions in my career for my entire career. On a broad plane, they've all worked out. Every time I've quit my jobs, which I've done every time I've had a job, people that I trust most, the people that I love, all advised against it. My dad told me not to move to New York City because it was such a risk. And every time I took these bigger risks, the opportunity for a larger payout was always there. Life is like this super temporary, mega fragile thing. You only get like a nugget of time to really pursue the things you care about. And I'm 30, and my rule is that the right time is always right now. I know that someday I won't be able to do this. I know that the time is now. The right time is always now. So I had to do it. That's how I feel about risk in general. And that's what the struggle has always been for me, is identifying risk, identifying fear, and then just smashing through it. Because a fear is looking back and wishing that I had done these things. The most dangerous thing you can do in your career, the most dangerous thing you can do in life is play it safe. Seneca said, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Thank you, Ryan, for turning me on to that quote. And that pretty much sums it up. Right now, it's go time for me. I want to maximize every waking second. I'm never going to get any younger, but right now, I'm completely healthy, I'm full of energy, and who knows how long this will last. I doubt it's going to be like that when I'm 50 or 60 years old, so I want to do it now. I think life is substantiated by whatever impact or whatever contribution you can make while you're alive. The finish line's the same for everyone. We're all ending up in the same place, but while we're here, what contribution can you make? Work and building things and making things and doing things and spending time with your family, those are the ways that I feel I'm contributing, that I'm accomplishing something. So why wouldn't I want to maximize my time as efficiently as possible to be as effective as I can with that? And that is why I say free time is the enemy of progress, because free time sitting around is not doing. And that's why I try to omit that entirely from my life.
I want to introduce y'all to this very simple concept. That if you want it, you got to go get it. Some of y'all got this concept of what you want to accomplish. You know, some of y'all are motivated by broke. I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'm fucked up, I can't do nothing. Some of y'all are motivated by just wanting to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Other folks are motivated by materialistic things. It's a very simple concept. If you want it, you gotta go get it. And what does that mean? It means that you trying to convince me or anybody else that you want to get it when you partying all week. As soon as you get any kind of money, you buying a bunch of shit that you really can't afford. It's time to stay focused. It's time to decide, fuck clubs, fuck partying, fuck trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. These clubs, these parties, all this shit ain't going nowhere. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly. The life that I live, I deserve this life because I worked my ass off to get it. Y'all out here running around creating this smoke. You did it to yourself. Trying to live up to the hype and create the smoke that you doing. You ain't doing it. You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. Fuck all the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today, it's about the future. You do the work now. Do the work now, and all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere. It's time to stay focused, man. I hope this video makes you uncomfortable. Because I look at this as a mirror. You get to look yourself in the mirror and ask hard and tough questions. What am I doing every single day with my life? Creating obstacles, challenges, and distractions for myself.
You are responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward. And the sooner you get that, the sooner your life gets into gear. What matters is now, this moment, and your willingness to see this moment for what it is, accept it, forgive the past, take responsibility, and move forward.
Let me explain something to you, people. When you show up late, when you are out of shape and your job requires you to be in shape, when you are not working as hard as you know you can work on the job, when you are giving people attitude because they're giving you an attitude, it's like a cycle of death. It ain't gonna stop. If your goal is to work your way up the success ladder, if you're gonna have a problem with everybody who has a problem with you, do you think that that's gonna help you to get to the top even faster? You know how many times I gotta laugh at shit that ain't funny? You know how many times I gotta go to dinners and events and places and be around people that I don't fuck with at all? But guess what? If it's a game of survival, we gonna get from where we are to where we trying to be. Your pride and your ego is out of fucking control. Your pride and your ego has been killing your career growth. Your pride and your ego and your attitude has compromised the altitude of your career. You know better, but you're deciding to not do better. You are a lazy, unprofessional, mean attitude having motherfucker. And yet, when things are not happening good for you, when things are not coming your way, when things are not happening as fast as you want them to happen, you blame everybody else and what they're doing and saying, and you completely disown everything that you're doing to contribute to your career not going to another level. I refuse to be aware of something I could be and should be doing better and purposely decide to not do it. I refuse. That's just like inviting broke into your life. Your pride and your ego has stopped you from being thirsty. You're in your own way. You are the reason your career is not on the next level.
Discipline is a pathway to creativity.
The most important variable in behavior change is forcing yourself to behave differently than you feel.
One thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being fucking lazy and just doing it.
Yeah.
That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be a fat fuck. Because there's a lot of days I don't want to do it. It's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through, and they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline I get things done. I always say that I'm like the most lazy, disciplined person I know, because I don't want to do it, but I always do.
Separates people from success and not being successful. I've never met a person who was not successful that didn't have a great amount of self-discipline within their life. Self-discipline and being able to perform and being able to keep your life on schedule and being able to keep commitments and promises and meet deadlines is essential to success.
You develop the discipline, the discipline, and I talk about that all the time, the fact that discipline equals freedom, and the more discipline you have as a human, the more freedom you're gonna have, which is completely counterintuitive. People think, oh, you're living this disciplined lifestyle, so that means you don't have any freedom, and it's actually the exact opposite. I have freedom because I have discipline. I have financial freedom because I have financial discipline. I have more time. I have more time because I have the discipline to get up in the morning, before most normal people get up. Those are the kind of disciplines that you put into place, and those definitely get instilled through the military.
When we're talking about self-discipline, that starts with self-love. How do you get more self-discipline? Is to begin scheduling your entire day. That means entire day. From the moment you wake up to when you're sleeping at night, have it scheduled out. Because if you have a schedule, you're more apt to do the things that are on that schedule.
So whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life, the critical component is getting things done. Building the character character that's associated with getting things done in a systematic way requires that you become disciplined. Because it's very difficult to just get up and change your life, just change the way you do things. People like to say that all the time, hey, just stop doing this or start doing that. They like to give advice, but the underlying factor is that our friend, our individual, whoever's asking the question, is not disciplined enough to actually put that thing in action, get that thing done. Begin with something small. So, for example, if you want to lose weight, I often tell people, just start walking every single morning. Don't worry about counting calories. Don't worry about complex workout ideas. Don't worry about anything that anyone is selling you. Just get up and walk every morning. It will add to your success because getting up and walking fresh air and exercise is going to support you in losing weight. But we all know that there's far more factors to consider. But what it will do is create the virtue of discipline, commitment, right? Commitment and discipline sort of go together. And the fact that that small win associated with getting up every single morning is under your belt, you're going to feel the courage, the confidence, and you will have the ability to begin adding other things to your ability to grow stronger. So now that you know, it's been 60 days, 90 days, and it's like you got that pattern down pat. You get up every morning, you just walk, that's it. You don't think about it, it's become a habit. You now can use that tool of creating habits and instilling discipline with the next one, which should be a little bit more advanced. Perhaps only drink water with your meals. Don't drink any soda, don't drink any juice, just drink water. That's the next one. And then the next one becomes more complex, and the next one becomes more complex. Now, it might seem like this is tedious and slow, but I guarantee you that after 90 days of tiny wins and the revamping of your character, you will be the type of person that can get anything done at any time. And the long-time perspective is going to be a successful one for you. Start small, have big wins with these little things, and then use that new version of yourself, that new character tool to attack bigger and more advanced things until you reach your goal.
The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
Sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what's using my life? One of the things that we know about life is that it is always changing. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go real well, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're happy, and sometimes you're sad. Now that's that thing called life. And when we begin to understand and know that, accepting that reality that we will never ever have things just on an even keel all the time, that you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. But during those down moments, that's where the growth takes place. That's where the work is. Anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships, the children are acting normal. Anybody can be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. See, but the real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place.
The more disciplined you are, you got to get up and write. You got to write stuff down. You got to read and find out about what's going on in the world so you have more things that you can jab at and make fun of. You got to increase your vocabulary so that you are quicker and sharper, so that when people are saying things, you have more words to battle back at them. All those things, all that freedom that you get on stage comes from the discipline that you study, you learn, you read, you write, you talk, you go through things.
If you first wait to feel comfortable before you try to produce behavior change, you will absolutely never produce any behavior change. You have to be willing to drive yourself through the initial uncomfortability that every human being feels. And then after you do the new behavior enough, then, and only then, will you become comfortable with the new behavior.
Do it now, whether you feel like it or not, because after all, what is self-discipline? It's doing the things that are right, whether you feel like it or not. Doing those right things that will produce you the results again, or at least get you closer to those results that you're looking for. When you're relying upon a power that's greater than yourself, what you're doing actually is you're connecting with that power, and in turn, it will raise you up to that level, and you will actually become that power.
None of us can afford to have a life that is controlled by someone else, or a life that is basically controlled by our emotions. Two kinds of people. There's the type of person who says, I'm going to wait till I feel like it before I do it. And then there's a person who says, I've got to do it so that I feel like it. One will never get anything done because they're still waiting to feel the moment to move. And the other person says, no, I need to move, and then I will begin to feel the moment. Sonia's self-discipline is essential in your life and in my life if we're going to get things done. Ask yourself, am I practicing self-discipline in my life? Am I doing the things that I should do because I need to do them, or am I kind of waiting to feel the moment? Just do it.
I become what I think about all day long. And once you know that what you think about is what expands, you start getting real careful about what you think about. You don't allow your thoughts to be on anything that you don't want, or that you wouldn't want to have manifest or show up for you in your life.
You know, I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that you can speak things into existence. And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
You have to understand, you are a magnet.
It's our intention. Our intention is everything. Nothing happens on this planet without it. Not one single thing has ever been accomplished without intention.
Einstein's most famous quote, he said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Logic will get you from A to B, but imagination will take you everywhere.
I think my imagination has always kept me going, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, just imagine myself collecting awards. Just imagine myself, you know what I mean, getting big parts. Imagine myself working with the greatest actors. Everybody can imagine themselves, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what, actually, yeah, I can see myself, you know, being an influencer in clothes, you know what I mean? Because I can make that happen,
You gotta understand something about like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
You are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're gonna draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you.
This is the law of attraction. You have to, in the struggle, you know, when things are going good and you visualize these good things happening, you visualize more good things happening, that's easy. What's not easy to do is when things are going bad and you're visualizing the good stuff.
That's what freezes people. When you're trying to figure out your life all the way to the end, when you can't figure it out, it freezes you from trying it because you go, oh, well, I can't figure that out. Oh, I can't go over there because I don't know how. You don't have to know how. You have to ask, believe, and receive.
Don't allow anybody else's opinions Don't allow what it says on the internet. Don't allow the research. Don't allow what anybody out there tells you is possible or not possible for you. There are many ways to get the things that we want for ourselves in our lives. But basically, it all begins with how we choose to think.
I visualized, I'm sitting here holding the steering wheel, visualizing a brand new car and visualizing good things in times of struggle. And that, when you can do that, I think that really makes that law of attraction work. I think it really attracts to you more.
I very often watch a lot of young people sort of meander around without any idea about why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, to want and to be ambitious and to want to be successful is not enough.
If you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip?
Where is the wealthiest place in the world? It's not China, it's not Dubai, it's the graveyard.
There you'll find potential never realized. There you'll find books never written. There you'll find abilities and skills and talents and gifts that the world never had exposure to.
A lot of people die full of their dreams, full of talent, full of ideas, full of skills, full of intelligence and abilities that they never reached for. They never tapped. They never got into. They never used it.
Because they were scared to take a risk. Scared like you. But you want to know something else? You're not in the graveyard. Yet.
It is not the things we do in life that we regret on our deathbed. It is the things we do not.
I do not regret when I step up and I fail. What I regret is not taking action at all.
We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do.
And every passing moment, we would never get back again.
Do it now or forever hold your peace.
Make decisions today, where today will be the defining moment for your future.
The decisions you make today will determine your tomorrow.
Let's go! Make sure something tonight ain't taking you away from this moment, man. Cause that's all we got. That's what y'all don't realize most of the time. We don't get this again. We don't get this again. The car runs too fast. That's why we got to savor these moments. Cause they right now.
Understand that you got an opportunity in front of you right now to do something. The day you in right now. That's the most important day that's going on. It's a great day. Every day you can get up and claim it's a great day.
Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature. Now!
See, this present moment is so precious. We have to be here. We have to be in it. And make the most of it.
Question is, what are you going to do with your time?
Some of you going to sleep and you don't deserve to be. You don't deserve rest. You lazy. You don't deserve rest. Rest is for people who work. You ain't doing nothing. Every day you chilling, right? You only go to sleep when you've done something. Some of y'all just need to be up. You need insomnia. You need to stay up all the time. You ain't doing nothing. You need to know your why, and my why wakes me up every single morning. Why do you do what you do? And I'm so successful at what I do because I don't do what I do for money. You don't get it. And when you don't do what you do for money, it comes to you. Opportunities come. I don't do what I do for money. Most high schools that call me in the hood can't afford me. I don't do what I do for money. I do what I do because every time I get a message that said, I failed the LSAT twice. I failed the bar exam twice. And I'm going back the third time. You gave me motivation to go back and try it again. And guess what? I nailed it on the third time. That's my why. My why is every single day when I wake up, every minute of the day, every hour of the day, I have an opportunity. Somebody who quit, somebody who gave up, somebody who stopped in life. I have the power, at my nickname, the refresher. I have the power as the refresher to make you believe again, to make you get up when you got up 3 times and you say, I'm not getting up no more. That's my why. I got a chance to change you. I got a chance to recreate my whole life. My granddaddy was a high school dropout. My father was a high school dropout. I dropped out of school almost 60 years, and my son's a few months away from walking across that stage and doing what none of us have ever done. That's my why. Because when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, his room is upstairs, and when I open up the garage, he hears me, and he knows Dad's up again. That's my why. He knows he can't sleep in because I don't sleep in. What's your why? You need a why. Why do you need a why? Because some days you're going to look at that alarm clock, you're going to look at that alarm clock and it's going to say 6, and 6 is the time you wake up, and you're going to look again, it's going to say 6:05, and you're going to say, I don't want to get up. But that why is going to say, I push yourself, get up. Your mama needs you, your daddy needs you, your children need you, your community, get up. Your why is going to push you when you can't push yourself. When you want to quit and give up, your why is going to give you that edge you need, that advantage you need, that lift that you need to get to the next level. Your why. The reason why you don't give 120% every time you get on the field, because you ain't got a why for what you do. At the end of your feelings is nothing, but at the end of every principle is a promise. Yeah. I'm going to say it one more time because I want you to get that. Behind your little feelings, it might not be absolutely nothing at the end of your little feelings. But behind every principle is a promise. All right? Okay, I'm going to give you a couple principles that I say I believe in. Find a man who's diligent at what he does. That's the principle. Diligence. And he shall stand before kings and not mean men. That's a principle. And some of you in your life, the reason why you're not at your goal right now, because you're just all about your feelings. You're all on your feelings. You don't feel like waking up. So who does? I don't feel like working today. Can I tell you something? Every day you say no to your dreams, you might be pushing your dreams back a whole 6 months, a whole year. That one single day, that one day you didn't get up could have pushed your stuff back I don't know how long. Success, number 1, starts with you. Like for real. Real success is you say one thing, and if you do what you say 70% of the time, you're going to be average. If you do what you say you're going to do 80% of the time, you're going to be real good. And if you do what you say you're going to do 90% of the time, you're going to be great. Because very few people do what they say they're going to do. A guy asked me about 2 months ago, he said, E.T., if there's one mistake you've made, what's that one mistake you made? I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. My values are not in alignment with my dreams. He said, E.T., what do you mean by that? I said, I want to tell you a story. I got a good friend of mine he came to me and said, Eric, my marriage is not where my marriage needs to be. I need to make some adjustments. I see you and your wife. I see how much time you spend with your wife, how much time you spend with your children, and I want that. You buy your wife roses regularly. You're always taking her out to eat. Like, I'm watching you. You spoil her. E.T., what can I do? And so I told him what to do, and guess what he started doing, God? He started doing the exact same thing I started doing. And he said, Eric, it's not working. Like, I'm doing exactly what you're doing, but it's not working. He said, why isn't it working? I said, you know why it's not working? Because your values and your dream, you say you want a better marriage. But I told you need to iron your wife's clothes. You know what he told me? Afterwards, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you, Eric. I know, you told me to iron, you told me to wash, you told me to cook, but where I come from, he said, I'm gonna be honest, Eric, when I do that, I feel like a punk. And I said, that's why you're having a hard time doing it, because your value system says a man is not supposed to iron, a man is not supposed to cook, a man is not supposed to wash dishes. That's what your value system says. So you're doing one thing, but you're going against your own value system. The reason why I'm having such an easy time washing clothes and cooking and ironing, you know why? Because nothing is as important to me as my marriage. And I would rather be happy. I would rather be happy than to say I ain't no punk. Make me a punk. I want to be a punk. You got the same operating system you had since 1995. You don't think any different. You don't speak any different. You're the exact same person you were in 2010. You got to be obsessed with improvement, guys. Last one. Come on. This was so important because some of the greatest minds are going to be in front of you today. Some people in this room who are not just talking it, they've lived it. But here's the problem. The problem with most people is that you're not obsessed with improvement. You're obsessed with making money. You're obsessed with taking your business to the next level. And can I be honest with you guys? When you become obsessed with improvement, I will spend more time learning in Australia than I will speaking. I'm going to say it again because you missed it. I will spend more time sitting under people. I will spend more time with Glenn. I will spend more time with Aaron. I will spend more time learning than I will speaking in this country. I will walk away with stuff I never heard before, books I've never read before, audios I've never seen before, going to conferences that I've never gone, hanging out with people that I never hung out with before. This is nothing, guys. This is just the dessert. You could burn my house down and it wouldn't bother me. Well, how do I know? I had a home that a tornado tore down in Alabama. It didn't bother me. Why? Because we have the blueprint and they can rebuild it. You could take all my money out the bank. It might hit me, ooh. But if I would tell you my lineup of speaking and our audio book, what we're making every month, we'll be all right. I can make more money. But if you take the knowledge out of my head and take the experiences that I have, I'm broke, I'm nothing. And so I'd rather buy a book than buy a house. Because if I buy a book, I can buy several homes.
Most of our hearts cannot be affected by the things that they're unaware of. They also have a saying that there is a certain level of peace that you have from being oblivious and clueless about the reality of things that are going on. You know better, but you're not doing better.
You're doing your job, but why you gotta stop me from doing mine? Because if you're willing to go through all the battling you gotta go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to somebody, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do.
Here's limitations.
with my career and my marriage and my personal life. Here's some dysfunction in my career, my personal life, and my surroundings and my friends. I know better, but I'm so used to doing wrong and being dysfunctional. I know better, but I'm not willing to do better. You have decided to settle, and you're so comfortable in your skin. You are pissing everybody off at your job. If somebody gonna look at me, treat me, and be disrespectful, like, fuck you, well, guess what? Fuck you. Is that really gonna help your career to grow with that type of mentality? It's only because you have a job that you're able to survive. Most of us want more than what we already have. But the fact that you do have, everything about what you've been doing is basically self-sabotage. Self-sabotage, self-defeat is real. When you are not working as hard as you know you can work on the job, when you are giving people attitude because they're giving you an attitude, it's like a cycle of death. Your attitude has compromised the altitude of your career. If your goal is to work your way up the success ladder, if you're gonna have a problem with everybody who has a problem with you, do you think that that's gonna help you to get to the top even faster? You know to do better, but you don't want to do better.
You cannot give up because it ain't what you see. You cannot give up. What you got to do is, you heard it, you read it. I sent it out on Twitter. I told you, champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank. I'm obsessed with improvement. Every day I'm getting better. There are those of you with phones, and every new phone that comes out, you get it. Every upgrade, you get it. Every piece of software, you get it. You are upgrading your technology, and you've not upgraded yourself. That's the difference between the greats. That's what separates them. When they don't have no more, when it's over, when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're ready to give up, when they spent their last dime, that's when they get started. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. Your value system says you are a consumer and not a producer. Listen to me, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, when you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you got to think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you could think about them, you could go one more mile. You could go one more day at work. You can find a scholarship. Listen to me, when you're doing it for somebody else, when you like that lion, if I don't grind, if we don't grind, if I don't grind, they don't eat. The truth is, you gotta find something within. You gotta find something within, and that's gotta push you, and that's gotta elevate you, and that's gotta drive you, and that's gotta move you. And when you find out what your why is, and your why gotta be deeper than you, when you find your why, you don't hit snooze no more. When you find your why, you find a way to make it happen. It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime. When you find a way out of no way, when you find breath that you don't have, when you find energy that did not exist, when you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way. Listen to me closely. When you get to the point where enough is enough, when you get to the point where it hurt real bad, when you get to the point you can't take it no more, when you get to that point, I'm telling you, I can't explain it to you, but doors start opening, opportunities start happening. But what you cannot do is you cannot quit during the process. That you're spending more money than you're making. Why? Because you're a consumer, but you're reading all the books and you're saying everything the books are saying, but those books are not in alignment with your values. And if you're going to go to the next level, your values are going to have to change. You want this moment for the rest of your life. Like if you're ready to take your game to the next level, and whatever it is, sports, life, business, whatever it is, health, listen to me very closely. You got to change that mindset.
There are two rules that I always adhere to, and that is to work hard and be brave. And I think the essence of hard work is one that's pretty straightforward, is that you'll never be the best looking, you'll never be the tallest, most talented, most capable, you'll never have the most money. There will always be someone who's better at whatever you're doing than you are. But you can always be the hardest working person in the room. And I think the hardest working person will always win.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. Mm-hmm. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day, mm-hmm. you'll never be able to communicate with people, with your artistry, the way that you want. So the only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, but if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's two things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. It's really that simple. A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. A real man, when coach ain't even watching, he's studying film on his own, because he loves the process. Everybody want to be a beast. Everybody got a lion. Tattoos of lions. Most of y'all think that a lion is who he is because of how ferocious he is when he catch that gazelle, when he catch that zebra. If a lion see an animal that's wounded, or a real hunter see an animal that's wounded, what do? They don't kill him. Why don't they kill him? He already herds, and they beast. A part of being a beast just ain't eating a gazelle. A part of being a beast is the hunts. It's the hunt that they're excited about. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process.
Well, they say when people take the courage to journey into the center of their fear, they find nothing. It is only many layers of fear being afraid of itself.
You put in 120% every time, or you don't put in nothing, because, listen to me very closely, today this opportunity you have, it might not be here next year, it might not be here the year after next, it might not be here the year after that. This is the only moment you got, and you better take advantage of this particular moment.
You've hit the wall someplace, you've looked in the mirror too many times and haven't smiled. You want to change the situation, move from where you are. The journey is not easy. Before you start that journey mentally, you must fuel yourself with the right reasons. the right fuel to sustain the entire journey. Everyone's hot off the start.
It does not take talent. You don't have to be talented, right? You don't have to be gifted. You don't have to be the quickest, the strongest. You don't have to be the most intelligent to get to where I am. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta grind, though. Your grind. You might come from privilege. Your daddy might hook you up with a car. He might know people. He might be able to get you a job. But you will not outwork me. You better grow up and get to the point as a man that if you ever get beat, you better get beat by somebody that's just purely more talented than you are. You better not ever get beat by somebody because you beat yourself.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Very often we made decisions in our youth or very young about what to believe, about what we were capable of, about who we are as a person, and that becomes the glass ceiling, if you will, that controls us. There's a corny metaphor, but it's true. I remember one time I was with my family at the circus, and there was a person there, and they had this big giant elephant, and you look at this elephant, and they take this little rope, put it around the elephant's neck, and they drive this stake into the ground. And I mean, you look at this and you know that elephant could rip down the entire tent with almost no effort. And yet the elephant doesn't struggle, doesn't try. Why? Because the elephant's conditioned. And they take that elephant and condition the elephant when it's a baby elephant. That's how they train them. When it's a little baby elephant and it doesn't have the power yet, they put a big rope around it and they drive this huge stake in the ground, and the elephant fights and fights and fights. And one day, finally, that elephant decides, I'm not capable of pulling this out. And once that becomes the definition of an identity of anyone, an elephant in this case, they don't even try anymore. It's just who I am, that's how it is, that's just the way it is in my life. I'd like to ask you to take a look at any place you've got a limitation and ask yourself, when did I decide to accept that limitation?
If you're willing to go through all the battling you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to somebody, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do.
Do people know you because of your unbelievable work ethic? If you can't answer yes to that, man, you're not going to get in that top 10%. You got to get at the top. People have to know you, not because, oh, he's a good salesman. Oh, he's a good this. Oh, he's an artist. Oh, he's a good pianist. Oh, he writes a great, story. No, dude, people need to know you for one major thing first. He works. He produces. The guy's there every day. The guy's pushing and shoving. Because the truth is, no matter how good your ideas are, how good your art is, or how good your skill set is, if you're not working, man, if you're not vibrating at a frequency that people say, my God, how does that guy do all that? If you're not vibrating at that rate, 10x levels, massive action, tremendous work ethic, it's just a muscle now, and it's just a discipline in your life, and it's a way, it's a normal way that other people think is abnormal. Ryan Seacrest, Tom Cruise, Oprah, Steven Spielberg, Donald Trump, still pumping and working as a billionaire. Look, if you're not working at that level, you're not going to make it. Get your work ethic in, man.
I feel so strongly that the reason I'm here is I dream big dreams. I dream the kind of dreams that other people said would not be possible. I'm also living proof. This isn't a Hollywood movie. I come literally from the other side of the tracks. If you saw where I grew up and we took a picture of it, the neighborhood, the setting, you'd say it's impossible that someone could come from there and get here. But it is possible.
where you are and the responsibility that you're going to take yourself where you want to go. Someone said we have two primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No, no. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out. I'm not going to be a volunteer victim.
What are you playing this game for? What's your passion? What's your drive? What's your purpose? What's your purpose for playing this game? Why are you doing what you're doing? And when you know why you're doing what you're doing, you saw my t-shirt, no alarm clock needed. My passion wakes me up. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning, no clock. I ain't used the clock in 20 years. My passion wakes me up. My drive wakes me up. My determination wakes me up. My ability to be, do, and have whatever I want, it wakes me up. What wakes you up? What drives you? Why are you playing this game? Is it just a game? Or do you eat it? Do you sleep it? Do you drink it? Have you possessed the game? Do you want to change the game? I'm sitting with a D1 basketball player this morning, freshman. He pulled out a piece of paper and he showed me 20 goals, what he wants to accomplish in Big Ten. 18-year-old kid, 20 goals. I asked him, why you got these goals? He said, because right now, my mama ain't eating. Right now, my grandma, I can't afford to buy her a drink of water. But I guarantee you, next year this time, I'll make my mark.
You can decide that I'm going to live each day as if it were my last. You can decide I'm going to work on myself and develop myself. I'm going to empower me. And all of these things that are happening to me right now, they're just temporary inconveniences. They're not stronger than I am. I'm in charge here. If you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents.
The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power of pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you.
If you look at somebody who's really successful and you think, wow, I mean, they're so amazing, they're such a genius, you gotta dig underneath and you gotta remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private.
If you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. How much time do you have left? How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure. This is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it. There's greatness in you, and you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. my will. And I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. You are unstoppable. Live your life with passion, with some drive. Most of us go through life with our brakes on, holding back. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.